The John Adams Archive. Captioned by Ava Rodriguez. Reflecting on the past. Growing up in a changing world. Title: Growing Up in a Changing World. Date: February 5, 2043. Author: John Adams. As I sit down to write this post, my mind drifts back to my childhood, growing up in a world that was slowly changing before my eyes. I remember when the climate first started to shift, when the crops began to fail, and farming had to be done indoors. It was a difficult time, but we adapted as best we could. But then came the conglomerates, the powerful corporations that lobbied the government to make it illegal for anyone to grow their own food. They claimed it was for public safety, but in reality, it was a way for them to take control of the world's food supply. It was a dark time, but there was hope. I remember the massive movement organized under the hashtag #StopTheTrains. People of all backgrounds came together, standing on the tracks and roadways all over the world, and brought the globe to its knees. For the first time in my young life, I saw the power of the people when they stood together. But it was short-lived. After a summit between the so-called leaders of the #STOP, the trains movement, and the corporate-backed politicians, the protest was called off. The promises made were empty, and the people who were at the summit got filthy rich. It was a disappointment, to say the least. As I reflect on that time, I can't help but think that if anything is to come from a movement like that, it would have to be decentralized in a way that it cannot be stopped until the demands are met. It's a difficult thing to achieve, but I believe it's possible. But as I write these words, doubts fill my mind. Is it possible to create real change in a world that is so deeply entrenched in its ways? Can we ever truly break free from the control of the conglomerates and the government officials that are their puppets? I don't know the answers, but I do know that we cannot give up. We must keep fighting, keep pushing for change, no matter how difficult it may seem. We owe it to ourselves and to future generations to create a better world, one that is fair and just for all. Until justice prevails, John Adams.